Hi everyone, my name is Nancy and this is my knitting podcast. As for an old tradition, I'm trying to record it second time because for some reason I was talking half an hour into my phone without realizing it wasn't recording at all. So now I need to repeat all that I was saying about my finished objects again. It's kind of frustrating, not gonna lie. I hate repeating myself. It just literally it makes me mad to repeating the same information over and over again, but that's my problem, not yours. So in today's video we're going to talk about my finished objects that I made this summer. Summer didn't end, as far as I know. It's pretty hot right there, and I'm with closed window and without no conditioning, so round of applause please. For me, the summer begins from the 1st of June till the 31st of August, and all of my needs that I'm going to show today was done in this time frame from the first, I believe so. Maybe I will look at my knit app and discover that they was made prior, but that's not the point. So the point is, it's the summer needs. And let's talk, maybe I will talk about not garment, but my accessory. Oh shit, I'm trying to get all my stuff from it so it won't be making noises and look ugly, but next I will show you how it's look with literal life needed things, and we will discuss my small disappointment. Let's say it like that. Okay. Yes. So first item is my breeze bag, and the knitting app showed me that I made it April 18. So technically it's not summer, but why I was talking about what summers for me, while now we have spring knit, obviously. Please forgive me if it's bothering you. So this is my breeze bag. Breeze bag designed by Petit Knit. I tried to make it for the second time. The first my attempt was last year, actually last summer, when this pattern was released, and then I was making, I'm pretty sure there is some kind of block that I was showing that bag. So I tried to make it using one strand of cotton yarn and one strand of hobby, do not remember which kind of mohair, and there was an issues with the bottom part, and eventually I just left that bag as unfinished object and never get back. And this spring I decided that maybe I should make the bag because in the summer I'm heavily using these kinds of knitted bags or the shoppers, so it will be suitable for my summer garments and have a lot of space. So I love this kind of bags, and I decided that I make it, but this time I was using 2 strands of, again, hobby, like some kind of Black Friday promotional yarn. I had a pack of it, and hold 2 strands together. This time I didn't mess up the bottom, so it's nice and round with this small hole that I supposed to close, but I didn't, and nothing is falling from that small hole, so the bottom is nice. I hate this construction. I hate doing it, but it's really great construction, and it's just so hard for my hands. Especially it's hard for me to do it on DP ends, because all of these needles going like that, and I'm just stressing. Like, I'm not nervous, I'm just angry as don't know who when I'm trying to manage that small tiny increasing circle. I'm emotionally, for me it's very hard, but the final object, chef kiss. So I did it according to the pattern. I think that I was using the bigger needle size because I thought that my this pattern will be bigger than petite knits, so because of the gauge difference and the yarn difference, and I will use the bigger needles, and I will do the back shorter, so it won't be as long as petite knits. And what? It is pretty long, despite the fact that I really did the, let's say, body part shorter that petite knit suggested, and still, because of the weight and because of the weight of the stuff that I'm pulling it, like stuffing this bag pretty heavily, pretty heavily, everything is pulling down, so the stitches not as horizontally. Yes, this is how it was look like. So in my perspective, it's supposed to be like wide and short, and you can see how beautiful stitching is in this configuration. But then I put my stuff in it, so it gets narrow and long, which is kind of disappointing, and the stitching is getting like narrow and long. Why haven't I think about it? I don't know, because I really wanted to be white, but somehow I didn't figure out that it going to stretch. So it's long bag. I did the handles longer than petite knits because I wanted to wear it a crossbody, and I did. I did them as long as I have my ribbon. There's the ribbon inside, cotton herringbone ribbon that I have in certain quantity. I do not remember how many meters, but it was only a ribbon of this type that I had, and I didn't want to go to buy another to substitute it because I wanted like longer, maybe a little bit, so I just stick with that I have. This is my breeze bag, and now I'm going to show how it looked like when I put my stuff in it. And small disclaimer, it's not the heaviest stuff because in day-to-day life I have the bottle of water, for example this one, in it because I'm taking it to the playground with my daughter, so it's look like, I don't know, it's look like not Instagram pictures taken bag, and just the regular bag. Yes, you see, and this is kind of a problem for me. So the problem for me that I did not want to talk about is if you're not using this bag for your yarn, for your knitting projects, etc., and use it for your day-to-day life with all these shapeless objects. Well, it's not shapeless, it's very heart-shaped objects, as water bottle or the like cosmetic bag or something like it, become this irregular shape, and you see how the stitch pattern is stretching out. And what I was thinking is maybe in some future, I'm thinking about it till the from the April, so you will have idea how long it's taken me to get lined this bag. So I think maybe I should line this bag, make a round bottom. Well, kind of your project bag type, like make the round bottom, make this like body around it, and sew it all. The not the problem but complications with this idea is that we are not having like strictly cutted we'll say top. We have it like with armholes, let's say, so it's not straight cutted, so I cannot just make it easy for me. It's need to be done so my lining will go like that straight here and like that down. So I understand that it's not awful hard to do, but I'm just lazy enough not to doing it, and I'm absolutely aware that it probably will decrease problem that I have with stretching down as minimum, because like if I'm going to do lining, I will make it shorter and maybe wider. So as I intentionally was doing this bag shorter and wider, so the lining will handle all my belongings and they won't be stretching the bag down. This is in my perfect world imagination. Will it be the same in the reality? I don't know, and especially because I'm not doing it, as you can see right now, I don't know either will it work or not, but that's an idea how to handle this all stretching stuff. Okay, That's all about my breeze bag that I wanted to share with you. Pardon me. So now we are going to talk again, because I already recorded this part and need to talk again the same stuff about my finished objects, which is 4, if be specific. So let's start with the clear vest. Let me check how much time I was doing this. Oh, so I started it May 18th and ended it June 8th. Pretty good. I'm considering it being pretty good, especially if we will remember that this vest have the same problem that all cardigans. It's not worked in the rounds, so it's worked flat. I prefer knitted round. And 20 days or something like that for this kind of top is pretty fast, in my opinion. I'm calling this clear vest a top just because these buttons are sewn here, so there's no way I could unbutton it and wear as like open vest. So in my opinion, it's more top than the vest, but designer also have option for you to make it with I-cord ties instead of the buttons. In that case you could open, but I think you will prefer to wear it with ties tied on the bows than with open it. So it's still going to be a top. Second time, I always I'm always so salty. Second time that I'm recording the same every time. So this is my Claire vest designed by Mochi Knits. I made it huge. I made it in XL size. It looks huge, it's not that big on my body unfortunately. So I made it in XL size. I substituted the yarn. Yarn was recommended is Rosario's something like that, pure silk. Designer recommended pure silk yarn. I choose Cumbria from Pasquale, which is, if I'm not mistaken, ramia and bamboo mix, something like that. And this yarn is unbelievably soft and smooth, and it was a pleasure to work with it. It's very drapey, as you can see, and I was intended it to be drapey. I had this yarn in my stash, so when I was looking for what to make with it, I really was considering the vest, because the vest was all over at that moment, and I was prognosing that it will be the thing, because you know, knitted t-shirts for the summer, it's like okay, but it's not groundbreaking, and we could make more like as knitters than just a regular t-shirt. And I thought that vests is really hot for the summer, and actually I wore it so much that I really think that the choice of the pattern was brilliant for me. I do wear it a lot. Haven't yet washed it because it has like low armholes, and clean, it's clean. So about the pattern, it's more or less standard pattern. Oh yes, about the usage of yarn, if I'm sure I used something about 4.5 skeins. And one thing that I should like say about the yarn is this kind of color is not from the regular collection. Like a regular collection of Cumbria has its colorful yarn, and this one, it's not dyed yarn, so this is naturally the kind of yarn that you are getting from manufacturer, and it's undyed, and it's marketed as yarn that you can dye by your own, so it's could be dyed into your preferred color by yourself, or as in my choice, as in my case, you just could use it undyed, just this beautiful natural neutral color. It's very pleasant yarn. It's not peeling that much. Well, there is some peels, but from my opinion, it's not something critical or that you need to use your razor or something just to fix it. For me, it's okay amount of peeling. Enough about yarn. Well, the yarn was brilliant. I'm very happy with my choice, and yes, when I firstly saw this pattern on Ravelry, it wasn't able to buy it, and then what she needs, I was observing her on the Instagram, and then what she needs teased that it will be available soon. I waited, I get it when it was released, was very happy, and I have this yarn in my stash, so that's like the reason why I wasn't buying any new yarn, silk yarn, as the designer recommends, because I really wanted to use that one, and it fits my gauge, so why not. About the pattern itself, it's incredibly detailed. Like, you have a lot of videos, there's a lot of work was done for this pattern, there's a lot of videos, the photos of the process, like step by step, a lot of instruction for the ties, for the buttons, and the front panels that you are doing right here is going in the form of chart. It's not written, it's in chart form for different sizes. There was a problem when I didn't spot the size number on the beginning of the chart, and I start to make it for the smallest size, and then I realized that, oh, that's for the XS or something, so it wasn't very, like, I wasn't deep in the chart, so I could go to my size, and it still was fitting my measurements and my stitch counts. So I was working from then with my size, but there's a chart, lots of instructions, videos, so on. So it's brilliantly written pattern. I really recommend this designer because in my works in progress I have another design from her, and it's also very good written pattern, so that's the tendency I like. About the construction, it's pretty typical. You have some little bit of short rows here on your back to make this like scoop back edge. Then you have a little and oh, obviously I forgot, you are making this back until you are splitting, well, until your underarm. Then obviously you're picking up stitches for your front panels one by one. Here you have a little bit of short row so it will lean nicely. You needed the same length to the underarm, another one. Then you connect everything into one round and work for the XL size, very long on your knits and pearls. That's my complaint, have nothing to do with designer, it's just I'm complaining about knits and pearls, and it's not stopping me doing this kind of designs. So there is finishing touches is this, you probably won't be seeing this edge around the neck, not the neck, around the armhole, which you are making by picking stitches, knitting like centimeter and flip it and sew it. I did it in a little bit another way than the designer suggested, just because it was already too far for me to redoing it as her instructions, because I wasn't paying attention in this moment and made it by myself as I used to. But it looks, for my opinion, it looks pretty the same, but like technique is a little bit different. So the technique in pattern is great, recommend to do that if you're going to. And the finishing touches about the edge is actually I-cord, which I really love, because I was nervous that this will be rolling up a lot, these panels, without I-cording, and that the final stitches wasn't so clean. And then I get to the part there was I-cord and I was like, oh, relieved. Okay, it will be I-cord. It's grabbing it all together. I love how it's look like. You cannot tell that there's a I-cord if you do not know it. Very fine, and it's a little bit another I-cord technique that I was doing before. So again, very satisfied, extremely satisfied with all of this. The one problem that I still have is this edges that's rolling out. It's designer recommended to be steamed. I every my knits I'm steam blocking because I'm lazy to wash it, but this time I steamed, it rolled, I wash it, it rolled a little bit less, and at this point I think that I should like iron this hem so it won't be flipping like that, but I'm lazy. And I wore it like 10 times or something and I still didn't iron it. The buttons is from AliExpress. I use pretty same buttons for my Eva cardigan. Did I even release the video with my Eva cardigan? I do not remember. This buttons was in my stash, so like I didn't want to go for another one, and that was like the best fit for this top. And as I said before, I love this top very much. I'm using this very often, and this is my will I say the best knit of the season? Well, it's certainly one of the 2 knits of the season. Love this top, really recommend it. And yeah, actually I thought maybe I will make it in another color and another yarn, silk, this time. So oh, and one more moment, I have a little bit problem with the cleavage in this top, because so the cleavage was too low for me. I understand that for XL size it's logically that your bust will be bigger, but I do not have the bigger bust to like fill all this space. So my cleavage, instead of being here, was lower, and to reduce this I place my first button not here as it's supposed to be, because of increasing is ended up something like here, so I made it there to reduce, you know, the space. And I think if I won't be telling you, you will not spot this tiny modification. And now we are talking about the next knit, which was my Sandrine top. Sandrine top was knitted as part of Gregoria Fibers test group. I make it in the XL size again. Maybe that was a mistake, but I'm going to talk about it later. This top is supposed to have negative ease. It worked on millimeter needles. I'm sorry, 3mm needles, and the gauge it is 22 stitches at 37 rows, and the yarn supposed to be Petunia from Rauma. So this is 100% Pima cotton yarn. I didn't have this yarn in my location, so in the Poland, and I decided to substitute it with 2 strands of Sandnes Garn thin line. So 2 strands, hold it together, give me the same gauge. I'm really pleased with the fabric that I get from thin line, and especially this color. I find it marvelous. It's very, you know, it's hard to explain color. It's like gray, but it's bluish, and it's very mysterious. I love this color very much, and actually I bought this color to make it into t-shirt, this t-shirt that I'm wearing constantly, and it's pretty, well, not the same, but you know, it's that gray feel, that grungy feel, and I really love this color. So let's talk again about the pattern. The pattern is worked top down. You are using the wrap cast on to cast on stitches here. So you are making knits, then seed pattern, if I'm correct, knit, seed pattern. So this is your stitch pattern: knits, seed stitch, knit, seed stitch. So, and repeats. In the end you are making the ribbon down here, and then you are picking stitches along the side of your cast on edge, and you are making the ribbon up. So this ribbon is made in the end, so you will simultaneously make all of these straps, which is look pretty fun, like how it's going from here to there. I love this flow. It wasn't hard to do. It was really quick knit and very beginner friendly pattern, from my opinion. There's no like decreases. It's just like this tube that you're making with ribbon on each side. Great pattern from the beginnings, as I can see. you have to make a Kitchener stitch here which I wasn't making good. So it's a little bit wonky and not as invisible it's supposed to be, but just, well, that's just my practice with Kitchener stitch. I didn't do it like ever before, so that's why sucked. There is, for my opinion, well, there is a growth when I just knitted it and try it on. It had negative ease, but later, after the blocking, do not have negative ease at this moment, especially. This is the problem with me and my choose of the size, because so I'm a pear shaped and my belly is a little bit wider than my bust. So when I see bust measurement, I'm thinking about my, well, it's not the waist is okay, but after the waist, where is my belly, so this measurement I consider as my bust, like the widest measurement for the top. For the dress it will be my you know. So in this case, as it's straight tube, it is bigger in the bust and it's tight on my belly, which is not perfect, and it's like my fault with, well, I didn't know how this pattern will look, how this finished piece will look, until I get in the test group. So I didn't know that the fit it should get. And I was a good test knitter in the terms that I made all repeats that was suggested, all centimeters of the ribbon suggested, etc. And this gave me the too long top for my this proportion situation. So the top is going into my belly, it hugs it, but I do not really like the look because it hugs the belly, then I have space into my waist, and then it's going a bit tighter on the into the bust. And now talking about these issues, I think that I probably should have cropped it. Well, ideally I should have made it in the L size, not the XL size, so it will hug my bust better and make it cropped till my waistline, so it won't be this contrast in my bust, my waist and my belly, and it will hug me better. And then I could wear it with my high skirts and high pants and so on. Now I need to wear it, I need to tuck it in, and there is a bit of fabric around my waist that like widen it. I'm not really a fan of that. Well, as a part of test knit, it's beautiful top, but for my day-to-day life I don't wear it because of the issues with the proportions and the fabric hanging up there, and well, I described it to you. So unfortunately I'm not wearing it, but it's just my body top situation. It's really nice, it will be really nice, and I really consider at least to crop it. It won't be that hard to make it several repeats shorter. To crop it and to wear it because it's bra friendly, and if you do not want to wear bra, however, it's lines, and you can make it lines over your bra straps. If you don't want to make it bra, you can wear it braless, especially if you will consider making smaller size, maybe, or the size that corresponds to your bust, so it will hug your bust better and like hold everything in. It will be great summer top, but yeah, I need to crop it. I don't know, should I really crop it and wear it? And also not the color, yeah, you love the color and the texture. I probably should crop it. Next finished object. This video will be hours long, you know, because I have a lot of finished object all from one season, a lot of toki, and we still on the finished objects, and I have 3 WIPs to go. I will not talk about my acquisition. You are lucky. So next finished object is River Top from Sandrine's Garden magazine. I do not remember the number of the magazine. Should I get it? So, oh my. So this is Sandrine's Garden. 2206 magazine, and the River Top is here, and it's pretty little boy. So I bought a bunch of Sandrine's Garden magazines because they stopped production of the magazines entirely, as our distributor was told that they stopped production. So like now they're only making these small booklets, one for each pattern, and I really loved the magazines, so I decided to buy as many as I'm interested in, because the stock is low, because they stopped production of the magazines again. So I get the oldest issues, maybe 5 or 6 of them, so I have a collection. Our distributor for that time, they do not sell the magazine only with the amount of yarn that you need for the smallest project from this magazine. So back then we could buy just the magazine itself. It was like a little less than $10, something around these figures. Now they will sold it only if you are buying the smallest amount of yarn needed to need the project from this magazine. And now they're not making magazines and just the booklets. I got 3 of the booklets. They have technical issues with QR codes, and I still didn't use any of it. And to be frankly and honest, I'm not finding this form factor good for me, because I get it that well, they get more profit with selling separately all the project, all the patterns, and the booklet is small. Please don't make me go and take it. Booklet is small, you can bring to your purse or something like that, but me, I like to have the magazine to lay in there in my library and to read it or just look through it. And the pattern I prefer to have in my phone. And there is a trick with that kind of booklet. They have the booklet small for your purse with the place for your notes, but with the booklet you have the QR code that you can provide and download this pattern to have it in your phone. So like it's doesn't make too much sense, because you can have your phone instead of booklet in your purse. Well, it's that's the big business decision that they make. Okay, I'm okay with it, but I'm not drawing to this Sandrine's Garden booklets as I was to their magazines. And going back to my finished object. I'm pretty sure it's made with linen and on 4mm needles. I didn't have linen from Sandrine's Garden for entire project. I had just blue one for the stripes, and actually I decided to make the project because I was reading through this magazine and my daughter saw this top and she wanted me to make it, and now she's not wearing it because she don't want to. That's what you need to know about kids and the kid knitting. Back to the yarn. The blue stripes is Sandrine's Garden linen. The beige or natural, or I even say it's like a little bit yellowish peachy, is the bell from Drops. Do not remember number. I'm pretty sure that's like you don't have a lot of shades of cream in Bell Drops, but I really actually love this shade of cream, and it's like warmer tones with the blue colder tone stripes. I really adore this color combination, and it's, for me, it's sad that my daughter do not want to wear it, but there's a reason for it. We'll talk about it later. This top is worked bottom up. You make Italian cast on, you make the ribbon, and then you work your patterns in repeats. There is these stripes made in yarn over, or how you will call it, stitches. It was first time that I make it in this stitch pattern, so it's very easy and it looks very interesting and good. I do really like the stripes, and overall the look of the top I do really like. I made it in size 4 to 5 years. My daughter is 3 in the 6-7 months, so it's supposed to be oversized on her, but I do not know how it fits because she do not want to try it. I hope it will be oversized enough to her maybe wanted to wear next year, or maybe just this. So it works button up. It was my first button up with sleeves because I was nervous how to connect sleeves, and I did it pretty damn good. I am really proud of myself. There's no any holes, and actually it looked that good that it could be even better than from the top down. I didn't say it, but it looked good. It looked good. So you are making the ribbon on the sleeves, and sleeves you're making separately, several rows of the knitting, then you connect sleeves to the body and work it up with the creases to form the yoke. And after that you are doing the collar. This was the problem because I made the collar too tight. I made double knitting stitches on the end of the collar, and in the obviously Italian cast off, so in the end it wasn't stretched too much to fit through my daughter's head. Yesterday I fixed it. I will unraveled all the double stitching and just make the Italian cast off, and I'm really hoping it will fit. But now, learning on her previous experience, she didn't want to try it because she thinks it won't fit. Well, we'll live, we'll see. I used just 3 and something balls of the cream bell, and even not a ball of the blue line line yarn for it. So it was very quick project. It was like my project to go because of the size, but it's a quick kids project. 4mm needles, beautiful yarn. The bell yarn, from my experience, is stiffer than the line, but after washing it gets softer. But yes, I'm pretty sure that in line it will be even softer. Well, I just get that yarn, both of them, from my stash, so it was a stash busting project, and I really didn't want to buy another yarn for it, and it's turned good. The line in the bell is pretty similar in its composition, but for some reason, maybe the materials another, you know, the composition is the same, but materials, if you're looking at the price, is cheaper in bell, so you can get the price, and that's why it's more, well, it's quality wise it's a little different, despite the fact that it's like the same on the paper. But after washing, pretty good. Okay, and the last finished object. Ta-da! So this is my shell tee, and this is my shell tee designed by Wool and Beyond. It's not it doesn't look as it is on the designer's pattern. Let's talk about it a little more. So originally, shell tee is supposed to be made on 5mm needles, and the yarn is durable soft cotton, which I do not know. It's 50 gram 80 meters, so it's like Aran yarn. Obviously I do not know the yarn and haven't done it using that yarn, so instead I was using cotton merino, brand new color. I bought it in the minute when Knitting for Olive was released that to their website. It was brand new color, Japanese anemone. Yes, Japanese anemone. First time me working with cotton merino yarn. I did heard that it's a beautiful yarn for this smooth silky texture, etc. So it is. I wasn't disappointed by the yarn at all. It's great, and the color, it's my favorite color, and it's my favorite pink color. I have the same sweatshirt in this color which I'm wearing constantly, and now I have the summer version of this sweatshirt. And with that saying, this yarn not getting you the same gauge on 5mm needles. Like, yes, you can get the gauge, but it for my taste it will be little bit too loose. And I discovered it when I was made this t-shirt all way down here, so all the way till this front parts going on. So I made all the back with the ruffle, and on the front you are making it like cardigan, in terms that you are making it back and forth flat style, without the front panels. And when I tried to make these front panels appropriately, as pattern told me, I get a lot of disappointment and a lot of problems with stitches, with not even the stitches, but with picking up the stitches from the edge, because in the pattern a designer called the edge is salvaged edge, which in her instruction of this edge is knitting all last stitches and knitting all first stitches. Like basically we're doing every time, if not said another way. Am I just like that? Please tell me, am I just like knitting all my edge stitches and purling them all the time? If only designer will say that do not like purl stitch, and I will not purl stitch. So this was confusing for me, and I didn't read it till the end. Well, to be honest, it was like defined with underscore line that you need to knit and purl all stitches, but I just look at it salvage edge and I was like, oh yes, it's the edge that you do not purl stitch, you just knit stitch, and that's why you have this beautiful edge and la 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 la. So I was doing this all the way there, so all the way of the edge, and then when I should do the picking up stitches, I realized that the holes from the picking up is giant, and the problem was not even in picking up this, but in the pattern you are not picking up this little guy here to do it simultaneously. You're picked just their stitches and you working back and forth with knitting this stitch. So I would have again giant holes, or the fabric will go like from it. It wasn't good. And I also had the problem with the sleeve edge, because basically when you are get to knit under your armhole, you are just closing these stitches and closing the sleeve stitches, and there's nothing that will like create this transition. And the now you can see the stitches that I have is without giant again holes, and it's pretty neat from my opinion. Originally it was horrifying, how you want to describe it. Or that was a big stitch hole and a giant stretch stitch because of the edging, or I tried to fix it with picking this like string of this stitch and knitting it with another stitches like above, so it will pull it up. It looked like blah. I'm sorry, but my work is it looked like I don't know, I'm knitting first time in my life and I don't know anything. I was very self-conscious of my knitting skills at the moment, and I just decided that I could try to figure it out and make it work, or I could just rip it off and start again. And being as lazy knitter as I am, I started it again. I don't know, it was like it was my proudest decision to start it all over. I just frog it and used smaller needle size. I've used 4.5mm needles instead of the 5. That means that I need to adjust my stitch count, and I adjusted my stitch count for several stitches here and there, and in the end it all worked out. It's magic, but it was a hard work for me, and I was just so motivated to get the final project with this particular yarn, because I was buying this particular yarn for this project. I have the vision in mind, and I just wasn't ready to let it go. So when I did it my way, it's all worked out. So I made it like stiffer because of the gauge. It's not that loose. It's perfect for 1.5mm needles. It's perfect for this yarn combination. I'm not really happy because this part, back part, was really beautiful before me blocking it, because it was really stand out, and now it all loosened, loose. The fabric get loose and it's not that frilly, and these stitches get stretchier than the one that I was casting on. So I probably can get it more structured by placing the yarn strand into this, where is it? Oh, into this closing edge where I was picking up the stitches again. It can be more frilly, but I like it anyway. So this top was heavily modified, you should understand. What I done, except of my stitches increasing, I made this part from the cap, from the sleeve cap till the front panel wider than designer suggested and shorter. So the front panel in my variation is much shorter than and smaller, like than the designers. In the pattern you have information that you could stitch it here not to be that open, so as you're comfortable. But I just thought maybe I will not stitch it and I will already make it smaller and not so wide, so I will feel comfortable, but I will get this front paneling situation that I really liked in this pattern. And yes, I did. So I make it wider here in the shoulder and the front panel. I made modification in the increasing of the shoulders, so I could have more loose shoulders. It's more stitches here and less knitted part of the body here, because there's certain amount of centimeters that designer suggests, but she also tells you that you can make it shorter, obviously. So I did it shorter, and this given me the fit where the front panel is ending up higher on my bust, so I do not have this deep cleavage, and this is comfortable cleavage for me. So and I'm tying this up, so this is my bra, and I have cleavage up to here. So it's not the revealing boob situation or something like that. I'm pretty proud of my modifications here, and I did this part another way than again a designer suggested. So I just picked up all stitches from here simultaneously there and knitted as I would knit button band for the cardigan. So when you're knit, then you're turn over, repeat, and all of that. So same techniques, if I may name it like that. And it give me this smooth edge without holes. Well, and from the inside it's do look really good indeed. What else I was doing my way? Actually, that was all of it. So the biggest problem was the yoke and the front paneling. After that, you are making all you're knitting all together in the rounds, on and on and on. And as you can see, it's a quite big t-shirt because of the back ruffle, which is supposed to be frilly, nicey, and the XL size that I was making. So I made it again big. This time it's intentional. It's big, oversized, and flowy. It's not hot. Well, to be honest, I didn't wear it when it was 30 degrees, so in 25 it's not hot, it's fine. The edging is double-edged. I love the finishing touches with this double-edged and the I-cords. When it does not have I-cords, this part of the neckline is looking very questionable. Will it work? It looks really like that. You can see how it looks like now. So you have this bump, but when you are knitting it and the I-cord doesn't attach yet, it looks much worse. So believe me, I-cord will pull this off together. This is my favorite t-shirt that I made by this day. I love it really much. I struggled for it, and it doesn't mean that I'm not appreciating the pattern or another creator's attempts to do this t-shirt, but in my case I really should done a lot of modifications of the pattern to get till this point. Well, generally it's pretty the same look, but it's not one-to-one comparison. So this is my really heavily modified shell tee, and I love it. Okay, with this longest video, do you need the second part of my works in progress? Okay, we will talk about my works in progress. What was first? Firstly, we'll talk about this, which you cannot understand because it's on the needles and this look like this. So it is Zoe Shirt by Kadri, and I didn't get into test group to test this, so I bought it just the past pattern released. It is the same waist style thing that I get with my Claire vest, but this time designer suggests you to have the ribbed edging on over the armholes and front panels, and the ribbon will be all of the bottom. So like same but different. And this will be open up. I'm not sure I will ever open it up, but technically you have the possibility. I'm working it in recommended yarn on the recommended needles, which is 4mm needles, and the yarn is Sole by Pasquale, which is cashmere and cotton blend. The number is 57, like lemonade or something like that. I really love this color. It's very trendy right now. It's this buttery color that they call it, and I just really wanted garment in this color, and the yarn is beautiful by itself. The construction is very similar to the Claire vest, so you made your back panel worked without any German short rows, so you have it straight. You work your back panel with increasing into the armholes and stop working the back panel after armholes increase down. Next you will pick stitches here on the shoulder, make some short rows and work every shoulder, every front panel separately with increasing for to gain this shape, triangular shape. So I'm on this stage where I have already connected the front panels with the back and made it up there, and the yarn okay, so the ball of the yarn was ended, and I decided until I get the new yarn ball connected, I will try to make the sleeve, the armhole edging. So I started here just to look how would it look like, and that's what I done. Pretty quick. The reason that I have more than one work in progress project, active project, because I have another one that is not active. It is T-shirt by Moraka Knit, which is lying in my bedroom in project bag, and it is alpaca boucle, and it's hot and I'm not working on it right in the moment, so it's just waiting the colder days. And I was just so inspired with another stuff that I started to making another project and casting them on, and now I have 3 of the works in progress. The next one was inspired by the color palette that I saw in the video of Young Folks Knits channel. Oh my god, I'm hoping I'm not butchering it. So I really like this color combination. It's baby blue, it's cream, black and brown, and the stripes. And this is the Amélie t-shirt, how it could be, by Petit Knit. It's really reminds me of Cumulus T O-neck by its construction, but it have not one raglan crease but 3 of them, so technically it's different, but I think that it's really the same base because of the yarn weight that you use. It is Sunday by Sunday's Garden, another Asian, but I think that it's very the same that Cumulus blouse O-neck. So if you have that pattern, or actually if you have Cumulus blouse V-neck, you can easily modify it into B O-neck or into B Amélie G. Really easily modified. Yes, but I was inspired by the stripes that Petit Knit had. This time she's telling like the color palette, so which amount of rows do you need for each color to have this stripy situation, which I did like, because when I was working with my Leon sweater there wasn't that instructions. This is worked on 3mm needles in Sunday by Sunday's Garden. I had the blue color in stash and I ordered another colors to correspond it. Now I'm at stage that you can see. It's fun to knit because of the stripes, but I'm a little bit tired of 3mm needles, so I just need another project to switch in. But yes, this is my yoke so far. Pretty beautiful. I love it, and especially the colors. It's very 70s something. I hope I will wear it. I hope I will finish it, and hope I will wear it. I have my projects, working projects in these Zara bags from the kids' shoes, so that's the life hack for you. And the last project, oh my god, 2 hours video it will be. Oof. The last is my Julia bag by Mochi Knits. There is a Julia bag call in Poland, created by Knita Stories, and I was just happy to get with the girls on Facebook and cast on this bag. It has the same bottom, which I do not love to make but do appreciate. I managed to do it with magic loop. This time magic loop, not DPNs, and I can say that I prefer magic loop. Despite the fact that I have some loose stitches because of the tension of the magic loop, I prefer the magic loop. And I am like maybe halfway up, 1/3, I don't know. So designer recommend to use Isager Japansk Bomuld, Japan's Bomuld, which is 100% cotton, 50 gram, 315 meters, and it's very so you need to get 3 strings together, so that's why it's look like that. And this is very interesting yarn. My friend was asking how it's feel, and it's like you won't be seeing it. I will play some footage. So it's like the 4 strands of cotton was glued together and pressed with the iron, so it will be flat like ribbon, but not a ribbon, if it makes any sense, my explanations. And this type of yarn give you this structure that remind the raffia yarn, but it's not paper, it's cotton, so you can stretch it, well, not stretch, but you can pull it, and with raffia, if you pull too hard, you will break it. And this I hope not. And this is has this like rough structure, and it's really defined the stitch pattern, which is very interesting to make, and it looks beautiful, but I'm get bored of it quite fast, so that's why I'm not making this as fast as I could. But I love it, I really love it, but just I'm get tired of it at some point, and I'm switching to another my project. So this is how it looks like now. I get 2 balls of Isager yarn as suggested. This color is 15. We was picking it up, yes, 15, in Instagram. Thanks my Instagram friends that helped me with picking up the color for the project. It's like this berry green, fun one. I wanted lemony color, but it was already sold out, and as far as I know, Isager have now complications with stock of this yarn because of all of the project that make with it. So yes, this is my Julia bag. And this is all, guys. I will not be showing you any acquisitions because I do not remember what I was buying during this period, and obviously it will be a lot and a long video, which is already it is, so won't be boring you more. Thank you a lot for watching. Please comment how many active work in progress do you have on your needles right now, and how many summer pieces have you already done, and are you planning more? It will be interesting to me. Thank you again for watching. I hope you have a fun time. Please consider to subscribe, hit the like button, go to my Ravelry or my Instagram, whatever every blogger told you. Have a nice day. Bye.